Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Check it out. We actually have snow finally. It's probably not going to last long because the forecast is showing that we're going to be in some warmer temps coming up here, but today is perfect. It's right around 30 degrees. Got my fat bike in the car. Speaking of car, what am I doing? An electric car in the wintertime? Don't they not start and not work in the wintertime? Don't believe in the bullshit. All right, I'm gonna ride my fat bike here at Lone Lake Park. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Let's do it. All right, I saw some people out here already. I'm gonna jump right in, see how this is. It's all about tire pressure, so I find myself slipping around too much. That just means I have to lower my pressure. I have it pretty low right now. Yeah, I might have to lower it a little. Definitely seems a little challenging. Yep. So drop some PSI. This is kind of one of those things you learn when you fat bike. It's all about tire pressure. It's definitely better now that I let the tire pressure out. This trail has a lot of climbing, and the climbs are going to be challenging in the snow. Whew. I'm glad I finally got the brakes sorted out on this thing. They actually work good and they don't make that horrendous noise. The key was organic brake pads or resin, whichever way you want to word it. That worked wonders for these colder temps. We'll see how this downhill section up here goes on a fat bike. Don't know how much traction I'll have, but there is a kind of a corner at the bottom of the hill over here that might be easy to wash out on. We'll see. Well, yeah, made it up that hill. Sweet. All right, here's the downhill. Drop my seat. I'm gonna be cautious. Here's the corner. Oh yeah, no problem. Well, I had to dab a foot. Okay, just as I was about to say, no problem. But it was fine. I would say this trail is a little higher on the skill level for fat biking, simply because it has tighter turns, you know, downhills, climbs, so you're constantly having to, you know, work, whether you're going up or down. If you're going up, you got to pedal, and that's work, and you're slipping around, you got to keep your balance. And then going downhill, you're working because you're slipping around, you got to keep your balance. But it's pretty fun. It's different. I think one of the things people think about fat biking when they haven't done it before is they think that, oh, I'll be able to ride on the snow just like I ride on the dirt on my regular mountain bike, and it isn't that at all. There's definitely a higher level of effort involved, And there's a whole different skill set of being comfortable balancing, sliding around like that. Brake control, which was also what I just did there. You know, you can't get too heavy on the brakes or you'll slide out. And you don't want to slide out the front tire. So it's a different, you know, kind of experience, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But it's fun. I think some people don't like it because it is a lot of work. Like it's, and you're not going as fast. It takes longer to ride a trail and so on. And for people who are just into mountain biking for, you know, the downhill easy flow stuff, and they're not really into the cardio and fitness aspect of it, they probably are turned off by fat biking just because of the level of effort involved. But it's a great winter activity to keep you in shape, that is for sure. Whew, yeah. So I have two different wheel sets and a selection of tires for this bike. So there's non-studded. What I have on right now is 27.5 by 4.0 non-studded tires. These are, oh, hello, thank you. These are faster rolling, but they don't have as much traction. And like today on this trail, I kind of wish I had my 26 by 4.8 Surly Bud and Lose, which tend to give me the best traction. And they're bigger, you know, bigger volume tires, and they've been my favorites. And then, well, I have a set of studded 26 by 4.5 tires. They can go on my 26-inch wheels, and those are pretty decent, but I don't like to run studs unless I have to. And I have a feeling we have a warm up. I see 40 degrees and rain coming in the forecast, and then it'll freeze, and that's when the studs will come out, because now then we'll have a lot more ice. But right now we don't have any ice, so it's perfect pure snow conditions. This part up here is pretty fun in the summer. We'll see what it's like in the winter. Whoa! Hello. Sweet. So, riding my muckluck today. Just talked about the different wheels that I have available for this. And what's cool about this frame is it does accommodate 27.5 and 26. So you can go either or. I like that aspect of it. So one thing I do want to mention is I see this QR code over here, and in this area, if you're local and you see these or you don't, this is to join Minnesota Off-Road Cyclists, also known as MORC. They have like 19 trails in the Twin Cities metro area, and it requires a lot of money and volunteers, and sometimes we pay professional trail organizations to build trails. So being a member helps them out. If you're not in Minnesota, the Twin Cities metro area, and you're somewhere else, find out what trail organization does the work on the trails and donate to them or join them, or however they work. Very important you do that, because that's how these get groomed, that's how they're maintained, that's how these trails even came to be, because these groups will advocate with different land managers and cities to get trail built, exactly like this one here, Lone Lake. Took a lot of work to get it approved by the city to build these trails in these nice hills and stuff. So just PSA, join whatever organization, in this case Minnesota Off-Road Cyclists, and support them so you can have more awesome trails to ride that are well maintained. All right, here's a little climbing skills tip for you. What I do is I lean back, almost like you see the wheelie riders do, and sit really upright, get all my weight that I can on the rear wheel, and then I'll bob the front wheel to prevent it from getting into the ruts. It works really good, believe it or not, because if you're leaned forward and you're putting the weight on the front wheel tends to catch in like all the grooves and stuff like that. But if you're leaned back, then you can let the front wheel just lightly bob. You just go right up the hill. You don't get caught in the ruts and get sent all kittywampus and stuff. It's pretty cool. Front wheel to prevent it from getting into the rut. So the idea there is I run less PSI in the front than I do the rear, by about 1, maybe 2 pounds depending on the conditions, less in the front than I do the rear. And you want the front tire to kind of form over stuff, and your weight distribution when you're on your bike is like 60 rear, 40 front, maybe even 65 rear, 35 front. Is that the right math? And yeah, so when you do that technique, you're putting your weight more on the rear wheel to get that traction, get it to form, deform, and absorb, and grab and stuff like that. But that's kind of fast. So it works. That technique really works. I'm on the downhill talking, so I'm not really focusing. This part's fun right here. You definitely want good brake modulation control for this stuff. Just like on dirt, you want to lean the bike to get onto those side knobs for traction in the corners. And here I am, the last stretch. This trail is just shy of 5 miles, so it's not a super long trail, but it is very challenging. So it works, yeah, that is for sure. Just got almost 500 feet of climbing in that 5 miles. So there you have it, my first official snow fat bike ride of the year. Of course, I did do a video on Global Fat Bike Day. That was fun, but there was no snow. We finally got some snow. Hopefully there's more to come. Last year wasn't a very good year for fat biking in the snow, but I'm really hoping this year is different and we get some good winter riding conditions, because it's a lot of fun. I appreciate your support from my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.